If only I had a better intro. Oh, wait, I do.
Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
I'm not even on the screen. I don't even know if you guys could hear me during all that.
Nope. Nope, couldn't hear nothing. You weren't there.
Good morning. It's time for the regular season finale of NFL Pregame Party. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, and I'm joined by my regular crew, Knock and Das Wolfen. How we doing this morning? I know how the champ's doing. He's looking forward to Carson Wentz, and Knock is looking forward to knocking off Carson Wentz. So I know what's going on in your world. Of course, I am geared up for my final game of the season because my boys suck hind tit, and they're going to be at the house. But we got a game against the Rams, so maybe we can change their seating. You know what I mean? So maybe we can play spoiler for them and
I'm
make
telling
them
you now,
have a little tougher game.
If my
on the
Broncos
road.
lose today, I will. This is the bet. If they lose today, I will not watch any of the playoffs.
Oh no, Knock! Don't deprive yourself of that shit. You know some of this is going to be good, man. Come on.
I know. I will
deprive yourself of the
guys.
AFC playoffs. Okay, not the NFC. Come on.
No.
Come on.
No. Just by luck, Bengals will make the Super Bowl.
I swear, man. Yeah, we're going to get into all of it, but Bengals shouldn't have won that game last night. Pittsburgh's offense played like ass down the stretch. Every component of it, including my boy Russell Wilson. But we're going to get into all of that. First, let's get into college football. I think since we saw the folks last, did we have any bowl games? I'm not sure.
Well, if you pan over to me, Joe, I would tell you all about it.
It's right there. What'd I do?
Well, this will make John happy. They beat Iowa 27-24.
There we go.
Pretty good game for the Music City Bowl. And technically we had a lot of bowls because the CFP still counts as bowls.
Right.
But I won't go into them quite yet because I got to say this for Keely Chow.
Oh, no!
Who's missing the playoffs now, Keely? I notice he hasn't said anything about it yet, but yeah, that's yeah. Who fucked around and found out there, Keely Chow?
Oh my God!
Sure wasn't Michigan.
Yeah, he's right about my Oklahoma Sooners, though, man. They didn't show up against Navy. Oh my God! Oh, it was horrible.
Too much. It was all good.
All you want? Wait, you want the Cowboys to beat the Commanders, Keely, and the Titans to beat the Texans? Well, You know what? I
I'm
think
not
the
sure
better chance is the Titans beating the Texans myself.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the seating's locked for the NFC. So, I mean, the Commanders could be seating people for all we know.
Yeah. No,
I haven't
actually,
really
I
checked it
think they're
out,
playing for. I saw it this morning. They're playing for 6th seed. Actually, I think.
but are
I'm
they
not
over
sure.
what,
Yeah.
Green Bay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
But I mean, that involves Green Bay losing to who? Chicago? Or
Right,
some shit?
which
Yeah.
is not going to happen. But anyway, go ahead, bro. We're talking
Then you had
college.
the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, the South Carolina Illinois. Illinois actually got the win on this one, so Big Ten over SEC there. That's kind of cool. Um, Louisville gets a 1 point win over Washington, Tony the Tiger Bowl, and then Baylor tried to keep up with LSU, but just could not.
Nope. That score really doesn't indicate how big of a blowout that was. Baylor scored most of that in the second half because they were killing them in the first half. Good Lord, it was horrible.
Yeah, they were keeping them within sights, but yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. They couldn't stop them offensive or on defense. So,
yep.
But and then we got let's see the other one. You got the Gator Bowl, Duke and Ole Miss. Duke couldn't do much to stop Ole Miss. Ole Miss just creamed them. And this is a pretty good game. Texas State and North Texas. Texas State gets the win in that one, 30-28. Minnesota, Virginia Tech just couldn't stop making mistakes. So Minnesota took that one, and Minnesota head coach got the Mayo Bowl dunking, which was pretty fun. And then the last bowl, regular bowl of the season, which made me sad, is Buffalo beat up Liberty to get.
Yeah, you're a closet
Bowl.
case Liberty fan, aren't you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No.
I thought you were. You're always hyping that school up.
No, not really. No, never hyped that. You have all the clips. I've never hyped that school up. They've been overrated since they got destroyed by Oregon when they went undefeated last year and played Oregon. Bo Nix destroyed them in halftime. He quit at halftime because he didn't need to play anymore. 35-7.
Needed to do anything else, right?
He didn't need to do anything else. He just needed to get drafted by the Broncos. That's all he had left to do. But of course we had the bowl games, and Boise just couldn't. Genty still made it over 100 yards, but not good enough over Penn State. It got to 17-14 at one point. Boise State was fighting back, but unfortunately they just couldn't stop them in the end. So 31-14 over Boise. It was not the worst game. You know,
No.
the 31 was kind of that last touchdown was.
And I do have to ask you
late in
guys
the game,
about
but-
this. Both of you guys mentioned, because I didn't watch any of this. It was on the Communist News Network. Oh, excuse me, the betting network. I mean, ESPN. So I didn't watch any of it. But both of you agreed in the thread that the reffing was horrible in this game. So talk about that a little bit.
I blacked out from this game, so I don't remember much of it.
There were a lot of calls that were extremely questionable. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay.
And they missed a ton. I mean,
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
And then the next day, of course, Oregon. There's something to be said about the Ohio State and Oregon game, where Oregon, I think, got screwed the most out of this whole college football playoffs. What happened to play Ohio State in their first game after a bye. But that's just me. I'm sure it'll be something they fix. But Ohio State.
Oh, it's a big complaint, and we'll get into it after you're done with the results. But go ahead.
Game of the day was definitely the Texas and Arizona State. Man, Scadaboo was out in the, just playing his heart out there and throwing up on the sideline, giving it all. Just throwing touchdowns, running touchdowns, breaking tackles. But in overtime, Arizona State, in second overtime, Arizona State couldn't score. Went 4 and out, or turnover on downs, and lost the game there. And then they had to, because I don't want to go too much into it, but because of the events on New Year's,
that's for another show.
Game. Yeah, that was pushed back a day. And Georgia just couldn't do much offensively. And Notre Dame took advantage of the lack of star power on the offensive side there for Georgia and got 23-10 on that one.
Didn't a chunk of their team enter the portal and not play?
For who?
For Georgia.
No, they were without their starting quarterback first off, and their best The best two players on their offense is McConkey and Lad McConkey, who is tearing it up for the Chargers, and Brock Bowers, who's the best rookie tight end.
Oh my God, yeah.
For the Raiders. So that offense is just not the same as it was last year. So no one ever stepped up, as far as I can tell.
Texas Arizona game was good though.
It was very
it was
good. So it's
double overtime. Can't get much better than that.
Yeah. So let's move on to the two games we got. Thursday night is going to be the Capital One Orange Bowl at 7:30, and it's going to be Notre Dame and Penn State. A little interesting on this one. I'm curious why they didn't push this back to Friday, because of the fact that the Georgia Notre Dame game got pushed back a day. So Notre Dame's actually getting less time to prep than Penn State does for this one. So it's going to be an interesting factor depending on the outcome of this one. And then the next day, you got Ohio State and Texas in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Not really sure who right now can beat Ohio State. They're looking pretty unstoppable.
They are.
I think they're the favorites to win this as the lowest seed, quote unquote, in this in this thing. So they gotta fix the seeding. They gotta fix the seeding.
If anybody can stop them, it's probably going to be OSU Notre Dame for the final. And
I don't see Notre Dame having enough offense to keep up with Ohio State. And Texas, I don't think, has the defense to stop Ohio State. Just throw the ball. Their mess up from Michigan was them trying to run the ball up the middle against a run team.
Yeah,
like that knows the run, and barely threw to the wide receivers in that game. Like it was weird. So, and then when they started throwing the wide receivers, they got on a roll and been unstoppable. So just keep doing that, and then don't let Will Howard on the celebration stage afterwards, which was very freaking weird.
I didn't see it, so you'd have to explain it to me. I don't know.
I don't know. They were claiming they had too many people on the stage or whatever, and so the quarterback of the winning team didn't even get to go on the stage until later.
Oh, I saw a headline. I saw a headline. Now I don't know if the headline was true or not because you can't buy half of the shit that they print. But it said they wouldn't let him up there because he was a Jesus freak.
No, that's stupid.
And it is stupid. That
because they just had a coach yesterday or one of the bowl games that had freaking Jesus is right or something like that. He wore that shirt.
Right.
No, I don't believe that one for a second.
That's sensational headlining. Yes, that's what I thought. I didn't even read the article when I saw it. I was like, that's dumb. That's stupid.
The last thing I want to show as far as games go, let's see. Hang on. Doing this on the fly because let's see, where are you? Here we go. Tomorrow, we got the FCS championship game, North Dakota State and Montana State.
Yep, Frisco, Texas. My brother goes to that game every time. Yep.
Yeah, so that might be actually a really good game. North Dakota beat South Dakota, who was the winner last year, and Montana beat South Dakota, just the regular one, I think, to get into this game. So that's a pretty decent game. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for college right now.
Okay, well, go back to your the results of the last round of the college football playoff real quick, and let's point something out in the controversy that's going along with it. Okay, you see the results here, folks. Every one of the bye week teams lost. One from the first round lost, or excuse me, one in their first games. The bye week teams all lost, and the teams that were playing that had home field advantage in the first round, which I don't like. I told you guys I don't like teams in this atmosphere having a home field advantage. I think Knock pointed out if anybody needs home field advantage, it's the 4 bye week teams, right? Give them the fucking advantage since they earned it, right? But there's a lot of people hollering up and down that they should have had home field in this round. I think you just make it a level playing field myself. So that's my thoughts on it. Knock, what do you think about this setup? How do you think they're going to tweak it, and how?
Well, first, I think they're going to fix the seeding before they fix anything else.
You
As
think
far as the
conference championships aren't going to matter, or?
I think you're going to get a bid, but I don't think it's going to affect the seeding.
Okay.
It'll just be straight based on your ranking, which is what confused a lot of people, was that ranking and seeding weren't the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when the next one, it's just going to be the top 4 teams, and then the conference champions. Well, not even just that. It's just whatever you're ranked, and then the last 11, 12 are going to be conference champion. If they have if they're ranked lower than 12, kind of thing. They're just going to get the last couple bids. So I think that's what they're going to do. I'm kind of. And then when they do it, they don't have set brackets too. That was the other thing, the reseeding. In this particular case, Oregon would have still played Ohio State, but if they had done a different seeding in the first place, then it wouldn't have been Ohio State that they faced.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different because Ohio would have been seeded higher if they had did an actual seeding based on your rank.
Right.
So Ohio State would have been higher on the seeding chart. So I don't know. So I'm not a fan. I really think some teams definitely got an easier road than others. And I think
here,
get the easiest
okay,
road.
I think Texas has had a greased direction to this whole thing. I mean,
it's still almost lost.
They played a conference championship, a conference champion in their own house, and they didn't win their conference. I mean, that was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't it Clemson that they played in the first round, and Clemson was the ACC champion?
They beat 2 champions in their own house.
Yeah,
beat 2 champions, one in their own house and the second in a neutral site.
Mm-hmm.
And in own house, I mean in Texas house. So they had the conference champions had to go to Texas, which I didn't mind that one because that's going to happen no matter what, right? Because that's what I go back to is Clemson was the 12th seed because they weren't even ranked in the top 12.
I got you. I understand what you're saying. Strength of schedule figures into all that ranking stuff, and I agree with you. The seeding should be more important than the conference championships. I'm with you.
But I do kind of want to. I don't think they will take away the home field advantage in the first round, but I think they should.
There are so many bowl games that they could highlight. They could shuffle them around every year just to highlight different bowl games.
Yeah,
they can promote their own product this way. I don't understand what they're thinking.
If you don't think the Pop-Tart Bowl was a highlight of this bowl season, then man, there was some funny stuff.
Why not have it matter? Why not have it as a part of the college football playoff?
The only thing I will say about that is you give less 6-6 teams a bowl game.
Okay, all right. Now that's a legit
That's probably
argument.
the biggest thing. I'd say that's probably the biggest factor.
You want those teams to be able to get in there and make some money.
You want as many 6-6 teams to get in as possible, and the you don't want too many chances because you don't want 5 and 7 teams like a Louisiana Tech. Okay. To go in there, but
I got you. Okay,
that makes sense. Say that's probably the biggest reason because then what's the point of going 6-6, right?
What's the point of even trying to get bowl eligible?
2 weeks of the season, you're trying to get a bowl game.
What is that? 4 bowl games are going to be off the map.
Yeah, just like that. And there's already some that are off the map because of the college football playoffs. So there's 6 of them that have been taken. The New Year's Bowls is a big thing for a lot of teams. And I tell you what, the bowls this year, unless players were getting drafted like top 25 or whatever, top 10, bowl games are awesome this year.
They're better because a lot of them
definitely not dead.
Right. Well, some of the bigger players that are going to the draft probably didn't play, which evened up the competition. I can see that.
Well, some did and produced big stinkers. Colorado.
Right.
So I don't know.
I just want to say hi to Comics Dad real quick. It's good to see you, man. If you're a Browns fan, I'm a closet case Browns fan myself. I'm a big Bernie Kosar guy, the sidearm slinging bandit. I was happy when he won his ring with Dallas, and I hate it for you. I hope they turn that ship around there, but they got the right head coach. It's just
40 quarterbacks since 1999.
That's all. It's horrible. Let's see. And Keely Chow's talking about the Falcons beat the Panthers and Saints beat the Bucks. The Saints aren't going to beat the Bucks. I love you, man, but that ain't going to happen. Anyway, go ahead, Knock. I'm sorry. Go ahead and wrap up
Well, I
your
mean,
thoughts.
even if the Bucks win. Oh yeah, because Falcons.
The Bucks win,
lost.
they're in.
Yeah,
they win the
that's right.
division. Yeah.
God, they like flipping back and forth. So I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, so I don't know. This was definitely a weird.
Well, it's the first.
with
it's the first time
it's the first
around.
one.
I like the
Yeah, it's the first
setup.
one.
They just need to tweak it. Yeah, and it sounds like your seating idea probably worked the best. Probably
At the very least. Yeah, I'm not sure. Plus, I think they need to also go into the leagues themselves and figure out something with those. There's way too many teams in these leagues. Because we need to stop things like Indiana, and where they only played one decent Big Ten team, and they lost to them, Ohio State, because there's 16 teams, right? And you only have in these leagues 8 or 9 conference games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's too many instances of teams getting easy schedules and not playing the big dogs.
Oh my God! Just look at the difference. Look, first year in the SEC.
Texas too.
Take a look at Texas's schedule in the SEC versus Oklahoma's schedule in the SEC.
Right.
Oh my God! We had a murderer's row, and they had a cakewalk through it.
Look at Florida had the hardest schedule, and they were getting destroyed early in the season. And then they came back and they went 7-5, and
they ended up with a winning record. Kudos to them.
They won a bowl
really.
game. So. You know, and
they were battle hardened, no doubt.
Right? Yeah. They definitely got beat down and worked their way back up. But so I don't know. I don't know what changes exactly they're going to do. I know there's still the rumor of 14 teams playoffs, not this next year, but the year after. It's probably going to be 14 teams.
I think 12 was enough. That's me.
I don't know. I'm always going to hope for the Cinderellas. We've kind of lost all of our Cinderellas this year. I guess Notre Dame is probably the next one.
Notre Dame is probably one. Them or Penn State. I mean, I'm rooting for that side of the bracket. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but my nephew graduated Penn State, so I'm pulling for them. I'm pulling for them.
Well, if Penn State has to play Ohio State, they're not going to win. So it's just a fact of life.
I know they never can get past that team. Yeah,
so they got to hope for Texas because that's their only chance. So
yeah, right.
But
I'm definitely voting for that, or excuse me, rooting for that side of the bracket. Whoever wins the Notre Dame Penn State game, that's who I'm rooting for in the national championship for sure. I do not want to see Texas or Ohio State win it.
I think the only one I don't want to see is Ohio State. I just want to see a new winner.
Yeah,
and I think
Texas hasn't done it since Vince Young, since around the turn of the century. So yeah,
I mean, it's I wouldn't mind any of the 3 teams other than Ohio State, really. Mm-hmm. But I mean, none of them look as good as Ohio State right now.
No, they don't. They look tough, man. They went through Oregon like they weren't even there. It was ridiculous. I'm satisfied with Penn State beating SMU. Okay, cool. I want to see him win it all. I'm just rooting for my nephew. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm pulling for it. Mm-hmm. John, what do you think of this whole process? Do you think what tweak do you think it needs?
I think they need to expand it to 16.
To 16?
Yep.
Okay.
Damn.
What's the thinking there? So Mizzou can get in?
No, not just Mizzou, so that some of these smaller schools have a better chance to get in.
Okay. All right. You want to see more Cinderella possibilities?
Yes.
Okay.
More competition means better games.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, I did see another one where the thought of like doing the bottom 25 tournament as well, which I think would be pretty cool. The other thing would be
they do that in basketball, don't they? Don't they have 2 different?
I think so. If I don't follow it too much, but I think they have several tournaments, and they have tournaments all the time in basketball. Yeah, it's easier to do in basketball. Yeah. But that's where you can put the bowl games in the second tournament as well. To kind of hype them up a little bit and get a little trophy there, get a little money there, and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind that either, because that would take care of the top 25 for the most part, more like the top 24, but still. I think that'd be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I've always wanted to see in college football, especially because from what I hear, and read and rumor wise is that there's probably going to be a breakup of the league into two, a break from the power and the group of five leagues to make it a smaller league in general. um, and if that's the case, what I'm hoping is if that happens, there's a soccer level relegation league where the Power Four, if you're Mississippi State and you suck and you're in the last place in the SEC, you should drop down and let you have a group of five team league associated with a Power Four and hopefully another Power Five kind of thing. Have one of those group of five associated with the league and do like a relegation league where if you get in the top one or two, you have a chance to bump up to the power, and then if you're not doing well, then you drop out kind of thing, which I've always been a fan of that kind of stuff. So that gives the group of five a chance to move up kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
what was that?
That's the end of the buzzer.
It's a buzzer.
All right, but, I didn't think it was that bad of an idea, but okay.
No, it's not that. It sounds just like you're expanding on that same thing about having a second chance to get in the tournament, basically. Yeah, it sounds cool. I mean, all I know is I'm paying more attention to it now with a 12-game playoff. I am. I'm intrigued. I just hate the fact that ESPN has a stranglehold on it and I can't watch the games.
Yeah.
So, maybe they'll put it back on the free airwaves. I doubt it, but the NFL puts their games on the free airwaves. So, hey, I'll stick with that. So, but anyway, anything else we want to talk about college? I just, I wanted to talk about that, what tweaks we wanted to do, because there is a bunch of people unhappy with the fact that all the bye week teams lost. They didn't like that at all. And they think it plays right into the home field advantage thing and getting momentum before they even had to play, for those teams that were lower seeded. So,
and all I'll say is Alabama didn't help their cause.
No, they didn't.
So, yeah.
Sorry, Keely Chow, but they didn't. They didn't.
Shush your mouth there, buddies.
But hey, look, no, it doesn't matter how big time your program is. No program can really bounce back super fast from the loss of a coach. So, hey, it's going to be a couple of years, but you'll be back in it. Bama's always got a good roster, so they'll be back in it. They just got to settle in the right organization there. That's all. And it's like my Sooners, man. We're still rebounding from that idiot going out to USC. But anyway, all right, boys and girls, that's it for college for this week. Anything else you wanted to say, Knock?
Yeah, just one more thing real quick, just a couple minutes. In about a half hour, the AGDQ for this year, the Awesome Games Done Quick little charity thing that goes for all week. I just like to mention it every year, or it happens twice a year.
It's for charity, guys.
It's for charity, yeah. Usually it's like, Doctors Without Borders or something like that. I'm not sure what it is this year. This is for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. So it's always a good cause. The content or the people involved are a little more liberal these days than I'd like, but if you can get past that and just enjoy the games themselves, they play some really good speed runs in this, for sure. So here you can see right off the bat, you got Pikmin, Portal 2, Mega Man, Ori, Astrobot, Legend of Zelda, one of them. So they do a lot of games. It's just 24 hours for the next 7 days of just mostly retro games and just speed runs.
And it's just amazing how fast they can get through these games. How fast did they get through Baldur's Gate last year?
I think that was a half hour.
A half an hour run of Baldur's Gate 3.
That?
What the fuck?
If I remember correctly,
how in the hell can you do that? That's
that's speed runs. I mean, I can see it for like platformers and stuff, but speed running an RPG?
Yes, John.
I mean,
yes, John. Yeah, Fallout, they do it. They Skyrim, Fallout 4 they could do. I think it's 8 minutes. I think it is.
But
something like that.
I get what John's saying. That look, the whole point of an RPG is to get bathed in the world and all that good stuff, and you can't do that in 8 minutes. But it's kind of neat to see how these guys can negotiate that fast. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Speed run anything.
Yeah, so, it's crazy.
Oh, no. Allie's
Yeah.
son is working on beating the world record for Five Nights at Freddy's. So
Really?
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
He keeps it up, he can end up on this show.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
It's cool. They go to this. They do this. They got a really cool setup there. They have all the players go through and do each one. They announce them. They do raffles during this as well, and you can actually participate in auctions and stuff like that, or not auctions or like raffles. You could pay for a chance to win something, and that goes towards your donations, and your donations accumulate. So if there's something
Cool.
from like Zelda or Super Mario or something that's created, handmade usually, and they're pretty sick too. Some of the prizes that they have are pretty cool. You can put a donation towards those items, and your donations accumulate, and then
Wow.
they'll have like bonus games where if you put enough in, or bonus characters, bonus endings, stuff like that, that they do donation goals towards and stuff like that. So I just like to mention it. It happens twice a year. Awesome games done quick in the winter, and summer games done quick during, of course, the summer. That's usually like June or
Mhm.
July. So twice a year, 24-hour gaming. It's just one of those things where I keep a screen on it or a device on it just all week long, and that's just how I support it. So
Yep. Well, listen, do me a favor. Throw their Twitch page link into the private chat, and I'll throw it up in the chat for everybody to go check it out if they want to.
right.
Okay. All right, Knock. Thanks for the report on college football. And look, even though I can't watch the games, I'm really glad to see the results of it and everything, because it's really cool to have a bigger playoff. They experimented with the 4-team thing, and now they're doing 12. And who knows? Maybe they'll expand it even further, like John's saying. Get some more Cinderellas in there, man. You never know. But look, one thing's for sure: there's more eyes on it now. That's for sure. So good for them. Okay, let's see. It is time, boys and girls, for our breakdown of the final week of the NFL. And we're going to start on Monday night last week. If you didn't see it, you missed a great game between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers.
I was surprised how much San Francisco actually showed up in that game.
What's that now? Say it again, John.
I'm surprised how much San Francisco actually showed up in that game, considering how injured they are.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things stood out to me in this one. Brock Purdy's come back down to earth. And it was really a microcosm of their entire season watching this last night. They are hurt. They are banged up. No McCaffrey. You're right. They showed up. They went back to that old thing of putting Deebo Samuel in the backfield, having him running occasionally. Their running back did okay, but he can't catch the ball as well as McCaffrey can. But Kittle went off. He had a great night. He really did. He was beasting all over the field. But this was a microcosm of what we may see with the Lions. Once again, they go for it on their own 30 at one point, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, he's not going to do it, but I'm just hoping and praying that when this situation comes up in the divisional round or the championship round, if he gets that far, that he punts the ball. Fuck, man. This is, because it hurt them. They were down to these guys. They had to fight their way back. Because the Niners went right back down. Like John said, they were fighting, man. These guys, a lot of people, the thing about the NFL I love is these guys are going to play their guts out, even if they're playing for nothing, because they're pros and they're playing for future jobs, really, is what they're doing, to put stuff on tape. And the thing that really stood out to me, like I said, with the Lions is the decision-making. It's still that way. Please, cut that shit out come playoff time. But on the Niners side, they don't need to be paying Brock Purdy. Dobbs come off the bench and took him right down the field and scored a touchdown. So it's very, it's obvious to me that it's the coaching there in San Francisco, not the players. So I mean, don't get me wrong. The players are talented. That's not what I'm saying. But when a guy like Dobbs can come off the bench and go right down the field, hey, they've got something cooking there as far as the mental side of the game, being able to friggin' teach guys to do things right. Knock, what did you think of this one?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I
Oh,
don't
bro,
watch
you
the
missed a
night
great game. It was really good.
Joe, I work in the mornings. Okay,
I know. Well,
I'm not gonna stay
you
up for a game
usually
that doesn't
watch the
matter.
replays. I mean, I'm not nuts. You usually watch replays, so.
Yeah, I mean, I did, and it was like, okay, cool. It
Mhm.
was closer than normal, but I mean, it made no difference to me. It's not my conference. Not my. It was a. If the Lions lost this game, it'd be stupid, and it
Yeah.
would have made the Vikings game less fun. I'd rather it be 2-14 and two teams going.
Right, and that's what we got.
That would have been a bummer, pretty much.
John, what did you think of this one?
I thought it was pretty good. I said, the San Francisco showed up. And Dobbs coming off the bench and just walking down the field like that was, it's like, he's Purdy's back to being Mr. Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because no doubt. Look, the kicker missed some kicks for him, but it was his two interceptions two useless interceptions that really killed them because they were beating them. They were beating that team, and they turned it around on those two turnovers. So yeah, it was sad, but yeah, this is what's made it possible for the great end of the season we're gonna have, no doubt about it, man. Let's go ahead and talk about yesterday's games real quick. Of course, if you're going to miss a game, it was this one. Oh my gosh. This rivalry, the old Browns versus the new Browns, it's just lost its luster because of the quarterback position on that team. Deshaun Watson has totally screwed this franchise for another 5 years, and they're trying to. It was fun to watch the Flacco science last year, but wasn't to be this year. I can't remember who they started in this game. Oh yeah, Bailey Zappi makes another appearance, didn't he?
For a quarter, and then he threw an interception, and
he comes right out and scores for the Ravens. Man, unbelievable, just crazy. We had gone to lunch and I came back in and we were listening to it on the radio and they both punted, on their first drives. And then I walk in and Zappi throws it right to a defensive back. He throws it late on an out route.
Well, they eventually bring him back in because the other guy didn't any good.
The other guy was screwing it up just as bad. Yeah.
So they brought Zappi back in, and at least he was running.
Yeah,
he
was
running around and stuff and trying to make stuff happen, and he did score. So, of course, it was fourth quarter.
What's the name of this again on Twitch?
I put it in the private chat.
I know, but the name of it, I see the games done quick.
Awesome games done quick. AGDQ.
ATDTQ. ADTQ. What's the matter?
Listen to my words there, Joe. AGDQ. Awesome games done quick, and depending on if it's awesome or summer. So AGDQ or SGDQ.
I'm sorry, man. I apologize, bro. There we go.
Well, just don't let it happen again.
Yeah, I'll try not to. Jeez.
And maybe put it in the comments, not the private chat.
Yeah. I'm sorry, once again.
You okay there, Joe? You doing all right, buddy? You get enough sleep last night?
Yeah. I never get enough sleep before the show, bro. Let's see. You haven't noticed I'm usually in the studio half an hour beforehand. I'm only here 60 seconds before on Sunday. All right. Let's see. AG DQ. That's the link to the page, guys, right there. Okay. Yeah, this game was horrible. The Ravens were doing what they do. Who is this guy?
This is Archer. Say hi, Archer.
And he is a future Chiefs fan, is that right?
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
But right now, he's some kind of breakfast cereal fan, and it's all over his face.
Yes, that's it.
Cool. That works.
Actually, it's probably a Pop-Tart.
Probably a Pop-Tart?
That was a Pop-Tart.
Aha. So he's a fan of the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Healy Chow says, hi, Archer. Good stuff. But yeah, nothing much to say about this game right here. Baltimore had their way. And Lamar Jackson at one point threw a touchdown pass, and he did it a la Big Shot Bob in the playoffs in the NBA. He threw the pass, and before it even got halfway there, he turned around, put his hand in the air. I mean, it was pretty damn bad, man.
Well, this is the best highlight. Right
Okay.
now.
Let's see it.
How about that? The Browns. Zappy. Oh, big fella touchdown. My goodness.
That was the best highlight you needed to watch. That's the only thing you needed to watch right there. The big man.
Awesome.
That was the end of the game. They said they talked about it. And Harbaugh was like, I greenlit it, yeah, but it was something they talked about getting down. So as soon as he caught it, he went down to the ground. He spun like nice little spin move on his knee there, but yeah, he went down on purpose. And he's like, I've seen too many memes of players getting the ball and then fumbling it, and I didn't want to get memed, so I caught it, and I was like, oh, I can't believe he threw it, and then I just like, I got to get down. So that was the end of the game. Was the big man. He went back in coverage. He was
coming through. No, he's not coming through. He's going to it.
He was in the defensive tackle position, and he went back into coverage, and Zappy threw it to him. So that was my highlight of the day. That was worth watching that game just to see.
There is nothing better than big man with ball. No doubt, bro. No doubt. All the best highlights are big man with ball.
If you ever watch it, the best one is always going to be that, was it Nate Solder, I think it was, for the Patriots?
The Patriots return. Yes.
Yes. He had the ball covered the whole time.
Made it, bro.
He's like, nobody's stopping me. Okay, I guess I'll just keep running then.
He's running with the ball like a baby.
I love
in
seeing
his hands,
and just like
man.
what happened last night with the Ravens, it's like everyone on the team just gets excited about it and gets into a big huddle and is jumping up and down. They get so excited whenever they see a big man make those kind of plays.
It's because they never get the attention. Look, the games are won and lost in the trenches, folks. This is where these games are won and lost. Those 5 guys blocking and the 4 guys trying to get after the quarterback or get after the running back on each side of the ball, right there at the line of scrimmage. This is where these games are won. And the only ones you ever hear about are the guys getting the sacks. That's the only ones you ever hear about. The rest of them, you never hear about them. And when they get their hands on the ball, the whole team loses their shit because the only time you hear about them is when they're penalized. When they're in the neutral zone, when they false start, that's the only time you hear their number during the game, right? And yeah, it's fun to watch. If you guys have never seen that return by the Patriots guy, by the way, you got to go see that. That is hilarious, man. He almost made it. But anyway, this game right here, not much to say about this one. Cleveland, they've got a lot. I don't think they need to get rid of their coach. I think he's a really good coach. He does the best he can with what he's got. But what he's got is not good, no doubt. I realized watching that game why you guys got rid of Jerry Jeudy. That guy is a ball dropping machine. Jesus, it's just bizarre how bad that guy is.
Not as bad as George Pickens yesterday, but
no. And let's get into that next, boys and girls, shall we? Yeah.
Useless team.
Look, me and my wife are sitting there rooting for, and look, I really don't like rooting for teams that I don't like. But my wife is a Dolphins fan. So much like Knock there, she's rooting against, and even I think John would admit he doesn't want to see the Bengals in the playoffs. So he was rooting for Pittsburgh yesterday too.
Oh, I was rooting for Pittsburgh, just because I don't like Joe Burrow.
You don't like Joe Burrow, yeah. And so we're all rooting for Pittsburgh, right, to get things done. And my God, they made so many mistakes, but the defense, as usual, kept them in the game. They kept forcing field goals. Mm-hmm. Burrow only got a touchdown on his first drive. The rest of the time, they settled for threes, and it looked like another one of these Pittsburgh's going to win ugly things. And sure enough, that final drive was a microcosm of why they've lost 4 in a row. Bad decisions by Russell Wilson. As much as I hate to say it, what was he doing running with the football and instead of throwing it away there on that last drive? He cost him so many seconds. Why didn't Tomlin call a timeout at certain points when they would catch a ball he definitely should have called the timeout whenever Russ.
It was like
fucked up and
Chicago
ran with it.
bad.
Yeah, Chicago bad decision making on the sideline, and then you got George Pickens, who for some reason that guy couldn't catch a ball to save his life. It was
it's stuff he's been catching all season anyway.
And it's hitting him in the hands and it's going right.
Well, it was his first game back after a good. Well, not his first game back. He came back on Christmas, but I don't think he was used a lot in that game.
No,
but I mean, yeah, he was rusty as all get out. But I mean, they tried. But
he should have just kept throwing it to 88. That tight end was showing out, man.
Yeah. Freiermuth and then also Mike Williams too. Mike
Williams, that grab on the sideline, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought he was up in the air whenever he caught that ball. Turns out both of his toes were dragging on the sideline. I was like, wow, unbelievable, man. Yeah, they didn't deserve what they got down the stretch, Steelers fans. Not at all. Hopefully this will change for them, but the fact remains the Bengals survived another one, and that puts pressure on the Miami Dolphins and the Broncos. The Broncos have to go into KC and win today because George Pickens is.
They're at home, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, are they at home? I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you guys were going to Arrowhead.
Yeah, I got some
That's
news
right.
about
The first
that.
game was in Arrowhead, wasn't it? Jeez, man. Wow. Okay, so let's get into today's slate of games. Now, a lot of these games we're probably going to glaze through because they don't mean a thing, but the first one does. Atlanta has
matters,
a chance.
Man.
Huh?
Draft matters.
Draft does matter.
It does matter.
Hashtag draft matters. That's right. We got 4 teams at 3 and 13. Don't forget that. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Somebody that's not in line for the draft is the Panthers. The only good thing you can say about the Panthers these days is that Bryce Young has turned around. He is actually learning and he's actually playing better. And I know I've said it before, but I'm very happy to see that. I'm so tired of watching these guys get washed, and just never having a career after that, being career backups. But Bryce Young, to his credit, has turned it around. And he's playing better. Now, he is playing with shit. They don't really have anything on
all they
team.
have is Adam Thielen.
Thielen,
the ghost
who
of
still does
Adam
it.
Thielen. Yeah,
the little white guy is still out
poor
there.
Guy. That poor guy. I don't know why he went to the Panthers, but
right. He should have stayed in Minnesota if they wanted to keep you.
Oh man, but else.
The Falcons, I have to say, after watching that first game with Penix, he's a rookie, but man, did he reminds me of Steve McNair so much. I mean, he's a big, strong dude, and he's a lefty, but he's got some zip in that ball, man.
McNair.
Little too much.
McNair, exactly. That's what he reminds me of.
Pull up on it.
Huh?
He's got to pull up on that a little bit. Sometimes.
Yeah. You don't want to become you don't want to become Cam Newton and just throw it through a wall on every play. But he did what you've been bitching about for how long now? Pitts gets a touchdown. Right?
Yeah, when he caught him. Yeah, when he caught the ball, yes.
When he caught the ball.
he hasn't been thrown to so much that he's almost forgotten how to catch. So
right,
there's a few of them that he dropped. But
he stuck it in there for that one touchdown down the stretch that put pressure on Washington to go down and win the game. But yeah, the Atlanta Falcons have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and they have to hope for a Baker Mayfield stinker, which I don't think is going to happen.
And of course, it's happening at the same time, which is awesome.
Yes, yeah. That they can't scoreboard watch; they just have to handle their business, right?
Except they're going to be scoreboard watching.
Yeah, they're going to be. Yeah, of course they are.
It's in Atlanta, so they're going to be playing the game on the scoreboard or on the Megatron.
I've got the Falcons in this one. I think they're going to handle business and just wait to see how the dominoes fall. Knock, who you got in this one?
I'm taking the Falcons too, but I've been liking what I've seen from the Panthers as well.
Yeah. I mean, the Panthers could, look, they gave the Chiefs fits, right, John? They're getting
fits.
better. So
yeah.
Who you like in this one, bud?
I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think they're going to play spoiler.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, it could happen. It's a division game, but I don't know. I just think
they beat them last year in the last game of this. Or no, excuse me, they beat the Bucks. In the last game last year. So hey, they could do it. All
right. Another game that has something to do with seeding. Commanders have a chance to move up to the I think it's the 5th seed, I think. If they can win and the Packers lose?
Definitely not the 5th seed. That's Minnesota or Lions.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. The 6th seed is what they're playing for. The 6th seed. Yeah, we got Washington going into Dallas. And once again, division game, but Dallas is too beat up, if you ask me. I think the Commanders should handle this. But, they're a young team. They could have a stinker, but, you don't want a stinker going down the stretch. They're going to want to play their best. So, and Dallas has not been a good home team this year. I haven't looked at the schedule, but most of their losses, I think they've got like one win at home this year, and I think it's against the Giants. I think was the one win
they tied Jake Long. They tied Jake Long for number of wins in the stadium there.
It's crazy. What'd you say, Knock?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they've been notoriously bad at home, and the Washington Commanders are coming off another last-minute victory. They've had a lot of those this year, and there's the rookie of the year is really between Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels, and I don't know. There for a little bit in the middle of the season.
He cemented it last week.
Yeah.
Who, Jaden Daniels? You think?
Yeah.
I was going to say Bo Nix took a little bit of a lead there midway through the season.
Yeah, definitely.
But it looks like it's gone back to what it was at the beginning of the season. But who knows, man? Maybe Bo will go off today. You never know. But
even if he did, I don't think it would matter because he's playing backups. So it's not like it's going to help him at all.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he should. Like, it'd be expected for him to go off today, but never know.
Yep. But anyway, I got Washington in this one. Knock.
I'm going Washington as well.
Yeah.
As long as they still got to play, because when we're looking at whether they play, if they stay in the 6th seed, right, they play the Rams. If they go to the 7th seed, they play the Eagles. Right, so who would you rather play?
I'd rather play the Rams instead of facing a division rival again.
Or what did you want to face a division rival? But either way.
Well, the Rams, a lot of people were talking big smoke about them, but they're barely winning games now. They're barely getting it done. It's clear that they've still got some gelling to do on the defensive side of the ball. Their front four are awesome, but everything behind it, that's questionable. You know what I mean? So. The Eagles, on the other hand, are scary. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Knock. Did I lose you? Sounds like I lost him. John.
Sorry, I got distracted by some singing.
Oh, okay, you got distracted by the quick plays? Oh, look at you, man. Anything else you want to say about this one?
No.
Okay. John. What you think?
Let's see. Cowboys at home. I'm going with Washington.
There you go.
You got Jaden Daniels. You got McLaurin.
Mm-hmm. And Zach Ertz. Don't forget about Zach Ertz. He was the guy catching the touchdowns last weekend. So
he may be old, but he's doing okay.
But he's getting it done, man. A good tight end to go a long way. Really will.
They definitely made the schedule so that everyone has to play. That's the annoying part. Which they did on purpose.
Right.
Because Green Bay plays at the same time, so they have to play.
Yep, they do. They can't scoreboard watch. They've got to play it through. Speaking of Green Bay, they're pretty much a lock to win their game, I would say. Once again, it's a division thing, but there's so much bad shit going on in Chicago that, the Packers. Look at the Packers' losses. They're not losing to slouch teams, man. They're right there. All they need is a little more seasoning, and they're going to be winning some of these games. And they need a win to go in strong, and I'm sure they're going to be looking to smash the Bears. Knock. You see any chance the Bears are going to jump up and get them?
No, but I got a puzzle for you. Do you remember who else they lost to outside of their division?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
It is.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Yeah, week 1. Down in Brazil. Yeah. They that's woof. Yeah.
So literally to the top 3 teams.
Top 3 teams in the NFC. That's what I'm saying. They're a scary team. But I think the youth of that team is what's holding them back a little. Like I said, a little more seasoning, man. They can beat any of these teams. They just gotta look. That game last week against Minnesota. Oh my God, man! I have to give credit to their coaching staff with the Packers, but I've never seen their head coach as animated as he was last weekend. He was so miffed on some of those calls. He was so angry. But hey, they were playing in Minnesota. What do you want, dude? I mean, the home field advantage is real. John, you give Caleb Williams the touted one. I just love the fact that Caleb Williams fell on his ass this year. I love it. You see greatness in a lot of the stuff he can do, but they don't have the coaching staff there. And
he's freaking Johnny Manziel. That's who he is.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think he's either going to be a backup somewhere in 2 years, or he's going to be in the Canadian League.
Really?
He's not. No, I don't think he's nothing special. I mean,
John's calling it now a bust.
Yeah,
bust.
That's the definition of a bust.
Yeah, I am. And the thing about now, we all know how emotional Caleb Williams is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Love is a little bit too emotional too.
Really?
When his who was it that got hurt last week? Or was it the week before? I think it was the week before.
Don't know.
One of the guy that hurt his knee.
Okay.
Sure, that was Love. I feel like you're talking about a different quarterback.
Brain fart. Never mind.
Yeah, maybe talking about C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, you're talking about Stroud. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. When Tank Dell went down.
Yeah, when Tank Dell went down.
I was fixing to say,
we'll talk about that.
Jordan Love, he looks like a cool customer, man. It looks like nothing phases him. To me, I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but
no, you're right. I was confused.
Well, we'll get to the Texans here in a minute.
But Jordan Love, they've got probably the third or fourth best running back in the NFL right now.
Oh God, yeah, Jacobs is a beast. Yes.
Yeah, they're just going to run over Chicago because Chicago really can't stop the run that well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, there you go. Okay, so we all got the Bears. The Bears going down.
What?
The Bears going down.
I was going to say, what?
Hey, man, give me
It's time for the Bears to hibernate.
Yes, it is time for the Bears to hibernate. Okay, here's a do-nothing game in the AFC South. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts.
No Richardson again this week.
Yeah, it's the Flacco Science. He'll throw plenty of interceptions, and the Jaguars will win. That's my prediction. Knock, what do you got?
I'm going Jags too, but I don't really care.
And John? Oh, he's going for dice cam. Look out. He's pulling out the dice.
But is he really going dice cam? That's the question.
I don't know. Is he?
Because he said last week he was going to set it up during this week. He said that.
Wait. I can see in his glasses.
Oh,
he's looking at his monitor.
He actually did it.
And there it is.
Wow.
There it is. Dice cam, ready to go.
He actually did it. All right. Wow.
What do we got?
All right. 1, 2, 3 Panthers. 4, 5, 6 Colts.
Jaguars. It's a clean
Panthers.
sweep, which means we've doomed the Jaguars to a loss. Of course.
All right. Yeah, full sweep for the Jags.
I tell you, the one thing about this game, I think the Jaguars are going to be searching for a new head coach on Black Monday.
Yeah, that sounded like
and
a clean
I think
sweep
the
there.
Colts. Here's the question: even though he's not playing today, did the Colts see enough in Richardson this year to keep this project going, or do we go in another direction? Knock, your thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like they've seen enough. All I keep reading about is just how they kept trying to get him involved and get him, set up, and all that kind of stuff, and it just wasn't taken. So I don't. It's obviously we don't know. We can only read what we read, kind of thing. But if it's true, then yeah, I mean, I think you gotta look to move on. It's gonna be kind of tough because they're not really in a draft position to draft high. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it with this draft, but could we have another 2 and 15 next year and get next guy?
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. The Richardson's just too fragile.
Yeah.
It's hurt way too often.
Yeah. Well, I think it's playing style. I think that's playing style. It's not like he's not a strong kid. He is, but he's taken way too many hits, no doubt.
Yeah.
Let's see. Seth Rollins is going to be happy that the season is over for the Bears. The more they lose, the more he hates football. Seth Rollins is a wrestler, guys, if you don't know. Okay, so we're all on the Jags today, which means they're going to lose. Next, we got... Now, if you remember this, I hate when the schedule makers do this. They should split up the divisional games between the beginning and the end of the season. These two teams played each other 2 weeks ago in Orchard Park. Okay. And surprisingly, the Patriots got up on them 2 touchdowns early. And they were, doing everything you need to do when you play the Bills. They were doing long drives, keeping them off the field. And come the second quarter, the Bills blew up on them. But yeah, what a hideous game this is. Bills really aren't playing for anything. It's not like anybody's going to jump over them. They are the second seed. They're going to be the second seed. Do they rest their players and let the Patriots win one, or the Patriots going to tank to get that first round draft pick? What do you think?
They are going to play. They are playing for one thing.
What's that?
Josh Allen is playing for MVP.
That's true. That's true.
Because basically at this point it's between him and Lamar. Even though, in my opinion, it should be Saquon. But
yeah, Saquon's in the conversation, but we're not going to see him the last week of the season. He's already said he's shutting it down. So
yeah, which he could have taken Eric Dickerson's record this week.
Yeah, I know. I look, he wants a ring, which if I'd have played in New York for as many years as he did, I'd want the very same thing. So, hey, you can't get mad at him. But
I'm not mad at it. It's just I was kind of hoping to see that record broken. But
I think Turducken comes out here and beats up the Patriots.
yeah. It's Allen's gonna hang 4 touchdowns on him at least.
Well, I don't think Allen's going to play very much.
I don't think he's going to. He might come out. He's going to get the
consecutive. He's going for the consecutive record, I think. So, he's going to play a series and then that'd be it.
Yeah, they're going to treat this like a preseason game. They've got nothing to play for.
He's going to start the game to keep the consecutive record going, but other than that, I don't think he's playing.
Well, the reason why I don't think so is because Lamar played the whole game. Except for
but they were still playing for.
They were playing for seeding, my brother. They were playing for the division, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
It was funny. I was talking to Knock about this very thing yesterday, and he didn't understand when they were playing. And he said, "Well,
I just had to
they
look
may
at
not
the
be
schedule.
playing for anything." I was like, "Dude, they're playing first." So
I just had to look at the schedule. So
yeah. Let's see. To the Patriots fans, at least you have the Celtics spring training starts next month for the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, no doubt.
and also, the other thing is you had a dynasty. So
we did, yeah. And look, we're right back to the red jersey Patriots, man. They may be all. They may be wearing the colors of the championship teams now, but they're back to the red jerseys. I really think they should go back to the white helmets and red jerseys myself, but that's just me. But I think they're going to hold serve and get the first pick in the draft myself. What I'd really like now, my AFC team is the Patriots. And what I'd really like to see happen is I'd love to see him fire Gerard Mayo after one season and get Vrabel in there, but that's just me. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah,
Vrabel's making the rounds right now, so hey,
he's going to the Jets.
He's talked to the Jets. He's talking to several others too, though.
He's going to the Jets, Joe. Don't be
don't be surprised. He knows the AFC South. Don't be surprised if he's the next Jaguars head coach. Don't be surprised at all if that happens.
Yeah, because Peterson's gone.
Yeah, Peterson is gone.
He'll be gone. Not tomorrow, when it usually happens.
They're going
to fire him after the game today.
Yeah. It's not even going to make it to Black Monday. It's going to be today.
He's gonna leave the field. His key card's already gonna be
locked. And pink slip right in his hand.
Right there. Get his stuff out.
Shad Khan's gonna be right there with a pink slip. There you go.
The security's gonna have the box and stuff in it.
The general manager going right along with him.
But don't be. Everybody's talking Jets for Mike Vrabel. Don't forget about the Jaguars. One, but the other one, Tom Brady is part owner of the friggin' Patriots. You don't think that's gonna, or not Patriots, but the Raiders now. You don't think that's gonna figure in? You don't think he's not gonna lobby for Mike Vrabel to come out there to Vegas?
I mean, see Mike Vrabel.
You've already got. Look at the coaches in that division now. They've got to keep up, right? The Raiders got to keep up. Don't be surprised if he's a Raider.
Not gonna happen.
He's just not going to have
the coach yet.
Stop speaking it into existence, Joe. Don't do it.
Vrabel isn't going to keep up with the three other coaches. It's not going to happen.
Oh, I hear you. Okay, got you. But you understand what I'm saying, though. That Brady is probably going to lobby to try and get him out there. Okay, next game. We got another team not playing for anything, going to shut their people down. And the New York Giants blew up last week against the Colts. They went off.
Yeah, kicked the Colts out of the playoffs. Drew Lock hasn't been starting all year. That's why.
No, and you know what? Drew Lock, with a couple of games under his belt, he did exactly what he did stepping off the bench for Seattle last year. I mean, I was so happy for him when he won that game last year, and I was kind of expecting it the first game he played. But man, this last one last week, dude, that and the defense. I mean, of course, it's 57-year-old. Joe Flacco out there throwing to the defense, so I mean, it's not hard.
The formula was simple though. Get it to Neighbors.
That's it.
That dude.
Yeah, get it to the LSU guy. If you have an LSU receiver, get it to him. Everything will be fine. But I think the Giants will probably win this game today. That's just me. I don't know. Is Pickett even going to play, or is it going to be McGee? You guys know? Because Pickett was hurt last week. That's why McGee had to come in. So I don't know how bad his injury was, but it's definitely going to be a backup quarterback for Philadelphia. And I'm going to say the Giants are going to win this one. Even though they're 3-13 and want to go for that high draft pick, I think they're going to play to win. It's a division game. They'd love to beat the Eagles, but this game doesn't matter to either one of them. The only thing it's going to do is change the New York Giants draft status. What do you guys think?
I keep seeing this stupid. Sometimes I get really tired of Facebook with their clickbait titles and little posts and shit like that, where they're like, "Oh, Eric Dickerson won the record in 16 games." It's like, okay, cool, but NFL, there was 14 games, and he beat that record, and like OJ did it in 14 or whatever. It's like, yeah, the record's going to be broken because there's 17 games. Now they're not going to go for it this one, but I mean, Saquon was only 100 yards away, so he could have done it easily against the Chargers. I think it would have been awesome if he got it against the Chargers, the record against the Chargers. But they're going over. They're going to be rusty in the playoffs. That's how we do it now.
Yeah,
Saquon will be back next year, so I mean, it's not like he's on a 1-year deal.
No, I get tired of these things where they're like, oh, he couldn't get it in a 16-game record. It was like, yeah, but they added more games. Like that's not a records are
it's not his fault,
games,
right?
But it's not his fault, It's not like he's lesser than him because he, freaking. They were talking about Ashton Genty when he was going for the 130 yards away from the record versus Penn State, and it's like, well, Barry Sanders did it in like 8 games. Yeah, well, he was also a monster, and
right.
Probably play some real shitty teams too, because they do that a lot in college. So I mean, I don't know. I hate the comparisons that they do.
But my favorite running back ever is Eric Dickerson, the guy that holds the record, and his thoughts on it were pretty much basically he was like, yeah, of course I don't want him to break the record, but it's going to fall. He said, who cares how many, kind of like what you just said, Knock. He said, I don't, we're all playing second fiddle to O.J. Simpson. He ran for 2,000 yards in 14 games. He said, doesn't matter. I broke the record, and it'll be broken one day. He said, do I want it to break? No, but it's going to. Why not go for it? But you got to give Saquon credit. He wants to win a championship. He wants to win everything, and the best way he can help his team right now is to be healthy going into that run. This game means nothing to them. And
well, it's definitely a coaching decision, right? I think if it were up to him, he'd be playing. Not necessarily for the record, but just because he's a football player and he wants to play football. So, I think Saquon himself would be up for playing the game. I think the coaching staff.
But to his credit, he is not bitching about it one bit.
I mean, he's a professional.
Mm-hmm. And look, I hate to say this, but
he's not a wide receiver.
It's becoming the rare. Yeah, right. It's the diva position. Thank God he's not a diva like the diva position, right? But anyway, who you got in this one, Knock?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I think I picked the Giants just because. But I need to do some shakeups to catch. I'm one game behind another guy in my Pick'ems league. Cool. So I got to make some off-ball ones just because he seems to be set on picking everything I pick. So I got to make some changes.
He's just trying to hold you off, man. That's all he's doing.
At this point, it seems like it, yeah. Because I've been one behind him for the last month.
John, who you got in this one?
I think the Eagles' backups are better than the Giants' starters. So,
even their third string. Dude, McGee stepped off the bench and threw a touchdown, man. He just went right down the field. I was like, wow,
I'm
look
going to
at
pick
this.
Eagles.
That's a big dude, too. He's like 6'6". I'm like, good God, who is this?
I think they want to, even though they're resting their Saquon and everybody they can.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that they want to be in that 14-3 conversation with everybody else.
Right. Gotcha. Okay, next up, we got a game that matters to the Buccaneers for sure. Win and they're in. Win and they win the South. Baker Mayfield, boys and girls, I'm a big fan of my Boomer Sooner brother, and wow, he's been on a tear, boys and girls. He has been on a damn tear. Throwing touchdowns. I think only Burrow has more touchdowns than him this year, right? Pretty sure. Yeah. I look for him to hold serve at home and get the division. All they have to do is handle their business. I don't think they care what Atlanta does today. I think they're going to go out there and handle their business against the Saints. The Saints probably starting Rattler, who shows flashes here and there, but that team, they've backed up the U-Hauls last week. I do have to say that, they've been playing tough for Rizzo, but wow, the last couple of weeks, it looks like they're backing up the U-Hauls, no doubt. That's another team lost their coach during the season.
I didn't have any faith for him last week, and I certainly don't this week.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Buccaneers for us. Spags for taking, for him to be head coach next year. They're looking at taking our defensive coach. But I've also heard. Didn't one of you put in the thread that Nagy was they were looking at Nagy too? Oh, I did.
Nagy was the Saints, the offensive coordinator who used to be with the Bears. Yeah.
Was it Nagy? I thought it was Spags.
No, it was Nagy.
Nagy.
Well, good. They can get rid of Nagy because we'll just get.
Does it matter who the offensive coordinator is in Kansas City? I'm pretty sure he's the head coach.
Yeah, that's what I said. We'll just let him take Nagy. I don't like Nagy. We'll get rid of Nagy.
I remember I put the
and we'll get Eric Bieniemy back. Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say, Knock? I'm sorry.
Exactly what Das was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Chicago fans would tell you not to hire Nagy as a head coach. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Have we not learned?
Somebody was talking to Spags though. Somebody wanted to talk to Spags.
Oh, everybody's going to be talking to Spags every offseason. Are you kidding me?
I don't know why. I mean, I wouldn't want him as a head coach. Again, it may be a decade removed, but I still remember with DC. So yeah. Ugh.
Was he the head coach in DC?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure we're all with the Bucs on this one, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Baker Mayfield.
Definitely.
Yes. Okay. And we've got now. You want to talk about a team that is backpedaling towards the playoffs?
See, this is the crazy thing right here, Joe. Is that 7 seed matters, right? Or the 6th and 7th seed. Or, excuse me. I'm sorry. The 6th and 5th seed, right?
Yeah.
Between the Steelers and the Chargers.
Yep.
Because whoever is the 6th seed plays the Texans. Right.
Yeah, and they're going to get a road win.
Or excuse me, whoever the 5th seed is, they play the 4th seed, which is the Texans right now.
Right.
Well, they're locked in at 4th seed.
Right.
So, I mean, I would rather be the Chargers and play the Texans than the Steelers having to play Baltimore.
Right.
So the Chargers are absolutely wanting to play today. So the Texans, yeah, this is it's kind
and the Texans are going to lose. I really believe the Titans are going to show up and beat this team this week, even though they're 3-13 in the running for the top draft pick and all that good stuff. I really believe they're going to go out there and win today. The Houston Texans, between their quarterback falling off a cliff and all the injuries, they look like hot garbage right now. They really, really do. I see every Texans game because they're right here in my market, and oh my God, they look bad. They really do.
They got one receiver now, and that's it.
Yeah, their best receiver, the guy that was blowing it up at the beginning of the season
Collins.
when they're all healthy, Nico Collins, and that's it. Everybody else has gotten hurt.
Yeah, that's all they got left. And
yeah, I mean that and Joe Mixon.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, though, but everybody.
Who they never give the ball to,
Yeah, you know what they're going to do? The Titans are going to load the box against Joe Mixon, double team friggin' Nico Collins, and they got the game won. All they have to do is produce about 3 field goals, and they'll win the game. I mean, and I don't know what's up with Stroud. I don't know if it's the injuries or if he's having a true sophomore slump, but he is making some bad decisions with the football, and it's not looking good. I don't know what's happened to him. Ever since they got the injury bug, he is slowly
he's too emotional,
going downhill.
Yeah, here's a hot take. Yeah, when that wide receiver went down and he was breaking down crying, it was not a good. He's too emotional, as someone would say. It's
that's
my completely original thought. No. It's just the right quarterback anymore.
Every if you look at him, every time somebody's got hurt on the offense, he's taking it personally.
He's like that guy in The Longest Yard who they give the estrogen to or whatever, the pills. It doesn't hurt to be mean. It doesn't hurt to be nice.
He's just not mean enough for this. That's a line from Landman this week. I think it was this week's episode. Billy Bob Thornton said that about his son. He's got to get out of here. He's just not mean enough for this. But yeah, I'm picking the Titans. What do you think, Knock?
I'm still going to roll with the Texans. This seems like, and you know me, I've hyped up the Titans all year long.
Yeah.
So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if the defense takes advantage. But I feel like this is also a chance for the Texans to get a little bit right before the playoffs. This is kind of the confidence game that they could do because the Titans are going to make mistakes, right? It doesn't matter who is behind there at quarterback. They're going to make mistakes. I think Calvin Ridley needs 100 yards to get 1,000. So maybe he gets that. I'm gonna have to look at the list. That just reminded me. But that, I'm gonna go with the Texans. I'm also gonna look at the list of incentives.
Yeah, get something ready for that for the end of the show. We'll talk about that real quick. Okay, John, who you got in this one?
I'm with you. I'm going with Titans.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win. They would love nothing more to send them pinwheeling into the playoffs.
Texans
Man.
have
They really
two
would.
players that they can throw to, or that can handle the ball, and they're easy. You either load the box or double team Nico Collins. Who else is going to catch it?
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm thinking.
They're not going to run it against the Titans because the Titans have a decent run defense.
If the Titans win, there are going to be a lot of Texans fans who will be triggered. Well, they should be triggered already. They're backpedaling into the playoffs. They're crawfishing into the playoffs. It's ridiculous how bad they play.
You know what's funny is why would the Titans? I guess I didn't think about this as well when I was making my pick. Why would the Texans play their starters?
Yeah. They can't improve their position.
They have the game? Yeah. They
They
can't
are
lose.
locked
They
in
can't-
at the 4 seed. They are locked in.
So with the Colts losing, they kind of, I think they locked it up 2 weeks ago.
They have to play their starters just to get them on a roll because they have been looking horrible and losing games.
Yeah.
Right. So what would you think about like a preseason game? Right. They play a series, they go down and score, and then just take them off the fucking field.
Yeah. I
If
hear
they
you.
on the first series of the game, if they go down and score a touchdown, I would take them all out.
Right. Yeah.
the
They
rest of the game.
look. Yeah. They can improve their position. You're right. They may sit their starters. They might.
But I like David Mills too, so I'm gonna stick with the Texans.
Okay. Next, we've got the San Francisco 49ers at Arizona. Two teams going nowhere. Two teams in the middle of the road. They're just playing for pride today. And you know what? This is going to make for a pretty good game, probably. I think that Arizona is going to win just because they're at home. The 49ers, what can you say about them? The injury bug got them this year, and Brock Purdy's been brought down to earth. And I agree with what they were saying last week during the broadcast. You know, when it's scripted plays, he does fantastic. It's just whenever they start calling the different things, wow. He's switching to dice cam. Look out, folks. We got 2 dice cams in one show. 2 dice cams in one show.
Now you're just showing off.
Now you're just showing off your rig, man. Go.
1-3, it's going to be the 49ers. 4-6, it's Arizona.
What did I
guess I'm
say?
going Arizona.
What did I
said
say?
Arizona.
Arizona.
What's a 9? What is a 9? I don't know what a 9 is. I don't... There's no underlines under those numbers. I don't know what they are.
Knock, what do you think of this one? What do you think?
I'm picking the Cardinals, but I don't really care. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be watching the game.
Doesn't matter.
There's only
But,
one game that's gonna matter in this hour, so
Right.
at
Exactly.
4:25. So
It's the one that matters. Let's see. Where are we at? And we're getting to it right now. The top seed in the AFC, resting their players. Carson Wentz is going to step off the bench to start for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're going to play the Denver Broncos, who are in a win and in situation. They have to win because if they don't win, the Bengals go to the playoffs. The Chiefs have had a stranglehold on this division as far as the division championship is concerned for the last few years. Broncos are playing for a wild card, and Steelers didn't help them yesterday. The Jets can't help them because of the Bengals win. So they have to win. They know this going in. John, talk about your team first. What do they got to do to beat this team today? What do they have to do to beat them? And you're at home. You should have the advantage. Go.
No,
They're not at home, Joe.
home.
Stop saying that.
We're at Denver. See, this is the thing.
I said the Broncos are at home.
Oh, okay. You said
that's
you're
not the
at
way
home.
you phrased it, dude. Me and John
Yeah.
heard it the same
Okay,
way.
I'm sorry.
Um,
The Broncos
Yeah.
are at home, folks.
well,
Go.
first of all, we had trouble getting there. Our team was stranded in the plane for hours at the
Yeah, I
airport
saw
because of
that.
the ice storm. So they finally, because the airport's de-icer was broken, so they couldn't de-ice the wings before takeoff.
You have one job
Yep,
to
they had one
de-ice.
job.
Got one job. Can't do it.
Yeah, I saw NFL memes had like the refs had pictures of the refs out there doing with snow shovels in front of a plane. So that the
I
Chiefs
didn't
get to
see
it.
that. That's funny.
Yeah,
Well, Knock,
so-
tell me about how your team is going to hold serve at home and get in the playoffs.
Here, I'll show you why.
Okay. Show me.
That's why. That's our jerseys for the day.
Oh, you're
wearing the
throwback.
oh. That's what I'm talking about.
That's
you
right.
know
We're
I
going
love that
orange.
uniform, dude.
We're going orange. This is why we're gonna win.
Yeah,
That's
the
it.
old school Elways. Yeah, the old school orange crush. Yes. Of course.
I don't want them to play it if we make the Super Bowl, but you know.
Right? Yeah, you need to wear
we gotta wear the blues.
John
We
Elway
gotta wear the
winning
blues.
Super Bowl uniform. Right?
Yeah.
This is the uniform he won in every blowout he was part of. The 3 before that. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, we just gotta take care of business. Bo Nix is second place in the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I just happened to see it. But one of the incentives is for Cortland Sutton, so gets Cortland Sutton the ball.
He's going to be
let's do it.
incentivized to
Yeah,
perform.
it's a $2 million bonus. So let's get Cortland Sutton the ball, and and then Cody Barton can get $250,000 with an interception. So Carson Wentz, do your job, man. Throw it to Cody Barton. Dude, hook him up, man. Hook him up. I'm telling you, if we don't win this game, I probably am not going to watch the playoffs. It's just
damn, bro.
Unlike last year, I
don't know how you can. This would be an historic collapse, which we've had before, but this is pretty bad. We had 9 wins and still missed the playoffs is really bad. When we're just it's almost as bad as the Steelers collapse at the end of the season, except they had already locked it in. So, they were lucky enough to have locked it in.
Yeah.
To be where they are, but just too many snake bites on us. Anytime one side of the ball steps up, the other side just doesn't seem to. We just don't get those. We don't get those complete games, which sucks. So like I say, if we lose this one, dude, it's just it's going to be a real blow to the Broncos fandom. If we lose this one at home, with all the momentum in the world, how can you lose this game?
Yeah, especially the way the one in Arrowhead ended. You guys did everything you could possibly do to win that game. Should have won that game. Even the Chiefs fan on our panel says they should have won that game, and that a miracle happened, and they lost. I think the Broncos are going to win this game. I just, because of the fact that you played them so well last time, and Carson Wentz, Andy Reid's always got a veteran backup, but this may be the worst backup he's had in this epic run they've been having. I'm just not a fan. Of course, he's the quarterback whisperer, so he could definitely improve his game, but I don't trust that guy between the ears. John, talk about your side of it. The backups, do they have a chance? What you think?
I'm sharing the last injury report.
Okay.
Injury report?
Can you blow that up a little bit where we might be able to read the names?
Yeah. I think. It's not one to...
Control and up on your wheel.
I know that.
He knows that. There you go. All right. Damn.
Chris Jones is doubtful. Pacheco, Juwan Taylor, and McCole Hartman are all out. Trent McDuffie and Patrick Mahomes are doubtful.
I think they're all perpetrators.
Jalen Watson's still out, but we're getting him back for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem Hunt's doubtful. Nick Bolton's doubtful. Karlaftis doubtful. Kelsey's doubtful. Justin Reed's doubtful. And Dude Tranquil's all doubtful.
How are we looking on the Broncos?
Yeah, keep scrolling. Let's see the Broncos list.
Zach Allen's unspecified, but he did full practice, so he was probably going to play.
He's going to play. Yeah.
He better play.
Batty's
Benito
questionable, but he's full practice.
You're going to need him, yeah.
Benito, Powers, and is it Strand?
Benito and Allen are the two main ones there.
Yeah. Okay.
The only one you're out is Frank Crow.
I don't even know who that is. So.
Offensive tackle.
Or offensive tackle.
All right. All right. So with that,
we have no excuses basically. Like
that's what John just told you. Yeah.
Any excuses whatsoever.
None.
Ugh.
Get her done, Broncos.
This is your game. We're gonna, we're not gonna let you win it because that's not Andy Reid's mentality.
No.
But if this is as closest to letting you win to make up for the last one as we possibly can.
This is not how I wanted to get in the playoffs, but at this point, I'll take it. Just to end this playoff drought in Bo Nix's first year would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool with a rookie quarterback to get there.
And to keep the Bengals out.
Keep the Bengals out,
Yeah.
But next week, or not the week after, actually, is the assuming the Broncos make it through. You see us again, it's not going to be backups.
We played in your town before.
It's not going to be backups, but you know what? Don't talk too much smoke because it took a miracle the last time you played them.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
and it was in
Chiefs aren't
Arrowhead.
exactly blowing
right?
anyone out of the water right now.
Playoffs. We're a playoffs team.
This is true. But look, the Broncos. That I really think they're going to do well today. I hope they make it.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, nobody would be mad at the Chiefs, and I would not imagine the Chiefs would be mad with themselves if they just laid down today to keep Joe Burrow out of the fucking playoffs. Because they're hot right now, man. They're hot right now. They are. Nobody wants to play that team in the AFC, I don't think.
No, I saw somebody said the Chiefs have the on a Bengals thread. The Chiefs have a chance to do the funniest thing ever.
What's that?
Let the Broncos win.
Yeah, just let them win. Yeah. Just, man. There's a lot of people thinking that.
We're going to show up with our practice squad.
Right. The practice squad gets time today in a preseason game against the Broncos. Oh,
that's
my
all
God.
Right. It's okay because the refs will fill in those extra spots. So,
Right.
The missing spots. They'll be happy to do so.
Okay. Let's hear it for the Broncos. Come on, get out there and do it today, man. I want to see you in the playoffs. I really do.
2 weeks in a row to clinch it, but let's do the worst way possible.
Let's get the third one right. Come on, you've had 2 dress rehearsals. Let's get this one done. Shit. But anyway, here's a game that means nothing. About the only thing that matters here is I think the Rams are going to lock in a 3rd seed. I think if they win this game, pretty sure. I think if they lose this one, Tampa could leapfrog them. I
think either way, Tampa. If both win, I think. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're right. You're correct. I'm sorry.
I think Tampa leapfrogs them if the Seattle Seahawks win this game.
They do. Yes.
I don't think Seattle's. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to try. The Seattle would love nothing more than to beat the Rams. Who stole the division from them, right? So yeah. It's going to be a good game. This one's going to be a good one. All the starters are going to play. And I just think the Rams are on a roll right now, and I think they'll pull it off. My Seahawks are about to go into a transition that I really think defense with the head coach we have is going to be a main focus in the offseason, and probably won't see much changes on the offensive side of the ball. But defense is going to be a priority for them in the offseason. But it's not going to do them any good today. I think the Rams hold serve and they take care of business and keep that 3rd seed. Knock, what do you think of this one?
I think we should have done a coin flip rather than the stupid strength of victory bullshit that they did last week.
Yeah, I promised I was going to look that up,
stupid.
But I never did. I didn't have a chance to.
It didn't matter. It was done by once the Ravens won or something. I can't remember.
Actually, it was the Washington game.
The
Washington game put them over the hump. Yep.
What a dumb thing. What's the dumbest way you can come up with a team to win the division? Them not playing any of those teams. Yeah, that's a great way to decide a division is.
It's
with a bunch of teams they didn't play.
I don't care because I'm one of those guys that thinks you should handle it on the field, and we didn't handle it on the field this year.
Well, they would have, right? If this was at the very least to get a chance or a coin flip or something, right? This would have been set up to be a division, a chance at getting it on a coin flip or something.
You're right. We'd have the same record, and we would have split the games.
But now it doesn't matter because of some rule that nobody understands other than some math geeks.
Yeah,
it's the
some
dumbest
tech
thing.
nerd
It's not football.
definitely came up with that, right?
Yeah. It's the most non-football reason why.
But anyway, who you got in this one, man?
I'm actually going with the Seattle Seahawks on this one. One of those I need to make a different pick kind of thing. I don't know. I think the Rams.
Not in the fact, Seattle, they could come out pissed off and really put the boots to them. They could, but. It's capable, but here's the thing: Walker's out. That they don't play the same when Walker doesn't play. Charbonnet's good, but kind of like Pollard and
I feel like
Ezekiel
Charbonnet
Elliott.
shines when Walker's not taking away carries from him. I feel like he's better. I think the times where he's disappeared is because Walker's been taking up touches on the field.
I don't know. Last game, Walker was out. Charbonnet was in. He got his touchdowns. He got his touches, but they didn't win the game. So,
blame the defense on that one.
There you go.
Yeah. Can't stop them from scoring, then you're not going to
The Geno picks didn't help, dude, and they're happening a lot more frequently. He is falling off a cliff, dude, and it's not pretty. I can tell you this much. Defense is going to be a focus, and we're going to have a different quarterback next year.
Didn't Geno get paid in the offseason?
I don't
think
he
did, like a 3-year deal or something like that.
Did he?
3-year deal.
Oh, yeah. God, no. Oh, okay.
I don't know for a fact.
He's falling off.
I was thinking he's one of the quarterbacks that got paid.
No, not that kind of payment.
Not what Lamar Jackson's going to get.
No, not that kind. No, not that kind of payment. But I mean, he got his contract. That's what I'm saying.
We'll see. I hope not myself, because what I've been seeing out of him the last few weeks, I don't need any more of that. John, who you think's going to win this one?
3-year,
$75 million.
Including $40 million.
When did he sign it, though?
Uh, 2024 on the 5th day of waiver period.
Yeah, so that's at least 2 more years of that.
Yeah.
Unless they eat it, which is this day that happens a lot. The Falcons are about to eat it. The Broncos are just finishing up stuffing it down.
Eating it, yeah.
Browns
no doubt.
Eat it. I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to be back next year.
No, they restructured. They restructured
for
him. Yeah, they did. They gave him space, so it's looking like he's coming back, at least for another year.
Wow.
So
what a mess.
So
okay, so who are you picking in this one, John?
I'm picking the Rams, but I'm rooting for the Seahawks because I'd like to see the Seahawks get to 10-7.
Yeah, I'd like it too. Of course, I'm rooting for my team, but I just don't see how they can win. I really don't, especially with those 4 hounds on the front of the Rams. They're going to terrorize Geno Smith, and this is going to be nasty.
And it's crazy because any other year the Seahawks would still be in it, but with the NFC being so top heavy right now.
Top heavy. Oh, oof. God. Yes. Let's see what else we got. I think we've gotten through them all, guys. Are we to the?
We got
one more in your. A couple more. Okay.
2 more.
We got a couple.
We got the actual good game, the really good game this weekend.
Yeah, we got this one. The Chargers and the Raiders. Chargers are going to start the starters. They're trying to hold on to their seeding. They want to go to the Texans, right? They want to go play the Texans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I think the Chargers hold serve and take care of the Raiders. But I have to, now that we're talking about the Raiders, I have to talk about, what's his name? Brock Bowers, is that his name?
Yeah.
How is his name not in Rookie of the Year?
If he was on a better team, he would have been in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he got tight end for sure, but yeah.
The guy is amazing. I know they don't talk tight ends for Rookie of the Year a lot.
Well, no, that's the only reason why, right? It's quarterbacks will always get the glory first, and Jaden Daniels deserves it, but, no.
The guy's amazing. You guys watch him twice a year. He's a handful. That's one component they don't have to worry about for at least 2 more years, right?
Yeah. 3-year rookie year, so.
And that's the kind of guy that Vrabel would love to coach. I really would, Oh, God. But anyway, the question with this really isn't who's going to win the game. I think, I think the entire panel would go with the Chargers on this one. But, the question here is who's going to be the next head coach of the Raiders, and what direction is that team going to go?
Yeah.
Do they continue with Aiden O'Connell? Have we seen enough out of that guy to think that he can win games down the stretch? He's good at throwing it to Brock Bowers.
I mean, the only reason they didn't draft is because all the quarterbacks were drafted by the time he got to the Raiders. So, I mean, they didn't have any picks left. The next quarterback picked in that draft was in the 3rd round with Spencer Rattler. So, I mean, I don't know if we have anything crazy coming out of this year's draft.
The quarterback, look, the year to draft a quarterback was last year.
Yeah.
This year, it's not going to be good. I mean, I think Sanders is probably going to be the best
he's going to the
quarterback
Giants, maybe, but they kind of screwed that up with the winning the game. The
Right.
bastards. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Chargers want this game though because they want that seed.
They want that seed.
Think of their path, right? If they get that 5th seed, then they don't have to go to Kansas City until the championship, if it gets that far, right? Because then the next one they go to is Buffalo, or Baltimore, depending on how things go for the most part. So
but do they really want to go to Buffalo in winter?
You want to go to Kansas City?
You've got lake
Either
effect
way, it doesn't
snow.
matter.
You got lake effect snow at.
If it's snowing, it
Buffalo.
doesn't really matter where you are, does it?
The Chargers are an LA team. They're going to be going north no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough for them. Yep. So I'm assuming we're all on the Chargers here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
especially because if they didn't need this game, then it'd be a toss-up. But they want this game.
Yeah, they definitely want this game.
Yeah. At least in the first round, I would rather play the Texans than the Ravens.
The only other team that has a shot at the playoffs in the AFC is the Miami Dolphins, and they're playing the New York Jets today in New York, where it's fucking cold, and I believe we know the history of the Miami Dolphins. They're not going to perform as well in the cold. I'm pulling for my wife's team, but I just don't see it happening. I think the Jets are actually going to pull one off.
No Tua, no Waddle.
No Tua, no Waddle. They're beat up. Now, you got to give it to Huntley. He showed out last week. He kept them in the running. He actually had a great game last week. But, the Jets have film on him now, and they got a really good defense. So, I mean, you can say what you want about them, but they've got a good defense. So, I really think that Aaron Rodgers is going to do enough to get this team through. They need to run the ball in the cold, and they're going to be able to do that, I think, against this team. They're both bad against the run. If both of these teams come out running, it's going to be pretty fun to watch in a short game. But I think the Jets will win this just because it is freezing up there, and Miami does not perform well, and it's historic. We know what's going on with that team, and they're too beat up. Knock, what do you think of this?
I'm going with the Jets on this one. I think I think the Dolphins are. Unless the Jets plan to sit Rodgers, I don't see any reason why they would lose.
Yeah, I got you. John, what do you think?
I think it's going to be the Jets, but it isn't going to be anything because of what Rodgers does.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be what that running back does.
Honestly, I think it would be. You want to know? You know what would get me to watch the playoffs if the Broncos lose is if Miami wins.
Yeah.
If Miami
wins and keeps Cincinnati out.
And
that's going to
be
a lot of fucking Miami fans today.
That's my fail-safe right there. If Denver loses, but the Dolphins make it in, that's my fail-safe. That's
I'm going to be rooting for the Dolphins because
we're all rooting for the Dolphins. Everybody is. We know that.
I think that would be hilarious.
If nothing else, just to break that cold weather curse, right? I mean.
Well, they beat. Remember, I'm always going to remember a few years ago where they beat Buffalo in the snow. So
yes,
I'm never good. I'm always going to keep that in mind whenever I say that, or whenever you say that. I don't say that. It's when you say it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been the case since Tua's been there. So hey.
No, but Tua's not playing.
But Tua's not playing.
I'm just saying, since Tua's been there, they lose when it's 40 degrees or lower. So, yeah.
So you're saying when it's snowing, they need to bring back Fitzpatrick. And
they need to bring back Larry Zonka whenever it's fucking snowing. It's what they need to do, man. Shit. You kidding me? They need a lot of firepower, let me tell you.
That's too much.
But yeah, everybody in the country is rooting for the Miami Dolphins.
We're running out of time here, gentlemen. We got some
no problem.
To talk about.
Let's get to it. The best game of the weekend. The NFL didn't make the schedule until after the results of last week, just because they thought they might get something like this. All eyes are going to be on Sunday Night Football when the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold head into the Detroit Lions, and Dan Gamble, their head coach, and Jared Goff face off for the division title and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The loser,
the stakes,
will be going on the road to either LA or Tampa Bay, depending on how or Atlanta, depending on how things play out today. Unbelievable that this is going to happen. But we've got 14-2 teams. This hasn't happened since 1993. It's been past the turn of the century since we've had 14 win teams go at it against each other in the final game of the season.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This is going to be fun as hell to watch. I'm going with the Detroit Lions. You guys know that they were my pick. And the main reason why I thought that they would do it is that I thought that they would have home field advantage this time. And the San Francisco 49ers dropped off the map, and here come the Vikings to try and stop it. So I think Detroit has always, since the beginning of the year last year, have looked like a team of destiny to me. And I think this is when they start paying it off. I'm going with the Lions, but there's no telling. John, I could see you getting dice cam out for this one. Good God. This is awesome shit right here. I can't wait for this game. I almost want to put up if it wasn't going to be so cold here tonight and it's already raining, because that Arctic blast is coming all the way down here. We're going to be in the 20s in the morning. I'd put up a widescreen and watch this out back. I'm telling you, this is going to be fucking fun to watch. John, who do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I'm going with Minnesota.
There you go. And hey.
2 words. Justin Jefferson.
Oh, yeah. Arguably the best player on the field today. Yep.
The best wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Darnold, like I said, Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over that often. He does occasionally, but, everybody turns it over occasionally. So, yeah, I think that I think Detroit's not, even though they're at home, I think they're not going to be able to handle their business. I think the Vikings coming out with something to prove because they want that spot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're going to lay down or anything. These guys are going to play their starters. And I've said all year long that Detroit's biggest weakness is their secondary. They're still getting penalties back there a lot. Oh, yeah. Even though they had 2 picks last week, that was on Brock Purdy. Really. Yeah. Those were easy picks. Branch got 2 easy ones thrown at him. But how great was it, the fucking celebration they did in the locker room for Sam Darnold last week, Knock? Was that not fucking awesome?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
No.
Oh, dude, the whole team put him up on their shoulders. They were spraying champagne all over him, dude. And the head coach, who was it? Kevin O'Donnell was a career backup in the NFL. He was just standing on the side watching it, just smiling his ass off. He thought it was cool as fuck that Sam Darnold had been given this opportunity and cashing in like this.
He's getting paid somewhere.
Yeah, right? Yeah, whether Minnesota pays him or someone else, Sam Darnold is definitely getting paid in the offseason. Knock, tell us what you think of this one, buddy.
Well, you mentioned the first time since 1930s that this is 214 teams going at. This is the first time.
Not the 30s, 1993.
1990, whatever. But this is the first time in history. It's the first time in history that a team will lose and be 14 wins and not win a division.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy one to me. So that's it. The fact that this is for all the marbles in the NFC is pretty nuts. I'm actually going with the Lions on this one, just because they're the home team. I think if it was in Minnesota, I'd be going for the Vikings.
Right.
Honestly, this was if anything, I'd pick a tie, and a tie goes to the Lions in that regard, if they do tie it for the first seed. I don't know. I think you got so many factors in this one. You got I can't remember if T.J. Hawkinson was back from his injury yet in the first game that they played. But
don't think he was, buddy. I don't think he was.
He's back.
He was
now.
out for a while. Yeah.
So it's not just Justin Jefferson. It's also Hawkinson. You also got their second wide receiver is not too bad either.
No.
But the Lions with their weapons, they don't have Montgomery anymore, which is a shame. But they still got Gibbs. They still got Amon St. Brown. They got Tim Patrick, who is one of the guys I wish the Broncos never let go. I think he would have been awesome in this offense right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he always has those big plays kind of things. He's not the fastest guy, but he's a tall guy, and so he could jump over some people, get those jump balls, which is nice. So I'm going with the Lions.
I tell you what, man, what I'm looking forward to is these two teams are going to be pulling out all the stops, bro. That play, I got a feeling we're going to see something tonight that is going to dwarf that play that the Lions did against the Niners last week. You remember the one where the guy caught the quick slant and then pitched it, and the guy took it right up the sideline for a touchdown?
Yeah,
That
you
lateral
mean
play?
the thing that Kelsey wants to do all the time?
Oh, yeah, all the time. But man, it was awesome. I think we're going to see a lot of shit like that. We're going to see some. I would not be surprised if one of the quarterbacks on either team catches a touchdown pass tonight. That would not shock me at all. It's going to be so much fun. This is playoffs right here. You win this game, you are sitting at home waiting to see who you're going to play. You lose this game, you're going on the road the entire playoffs unless a wild card team below you gets into the championship game.
Yeah, because we'll know who they play by this point, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, by this point we will know exactly who they're going to play. And
Lions will not punt because Dan Campbell's going to go for it.
Oh God, please, Dan, come on! I'm pulling my hair out every game, but it just seems to work, man. But look, it works until it doesn't. And when they played San Francisco last year, it didn't.
No.
He's got to know when to turn that off. And you may have to turn that off in this game. It just depends on what the situation is. But we'll see what happens tonight at 7:20 Central Time, 8:20 Eastern.
The last game.
You got to work tomorrow?
And I'm not working tomorrow, so I'll be
good deal. You're going to be able to watch it. All right. We're going to be texting like crazy during this one. I can tell you that right now. Okay, boys and girls. Anything else we want to talk about with the last week of the season?
It's up to you if you want to do the playoff machine or not.
Nah, we don't need to do the playoff machine. There's such a small window for these teams.
Yeah.
I do want to I do want to go through the incentives real quick.
The what?
Incentives.
Incentives. Go. You got anything to share on that?
I did. I backed out everything.
We'll do that real fast and we'll get out of here. But it's been a great season, guys. Game 272 is going to probably be one of the greatest in NFL history, if you ask me. But we'll see. Okay.
So with the Arizona, Kyler Murray needs 50 rushing yards.
He'll get that.
7,500, yeah. Zaven Collins, 1 sack away from 300K. So that'd be interesting. Kyle Van Noy did get this.
Yes, he did.
He did a half sack, and he got a full sack.
Gathered around him.
I don't know if Justin Hill caught 8 catches. I don't remember seeing him in the game at all, barely.
He didn't.
I think they did it on purpose. That's messed up. But anyways, the Bills, Von Miller needs 1 sack to get 1.5 mil.
He'll get that.
Let's see.
He'll get it.
Dawson Knox, 8 catches and 89 from getting 200K. I don't think he's going to get that. They're going to rest. Well, Knox isn't their starter, so he may have a chance at that.
He may have a big game.
Half a sack away. Defensive linemen, they usually let play, right? In these games, a half a sack from 200.
That's going to be tough.
Mike Kazecki, I think he got this. 3 receiving yards. He definitely got
That's all he needed was 3. Yeah, he got
3
that
yards.
yesterday. He was a go-to guy yesterday. Yep.
Yeah. The Cowboys, Linville
Joseph, yeah.
Sack away from 100K. Let's see. Broncos. Cortland Sutton. I want to see this. Cortland Sutton, 82 receiving yards from maxing out a $2 million bonus.
Ooh, get that man his
Cody
money.
Barton needs an interception for 250K interception.
That's not going to happen.
That. Zadarius Smith can make 250K with 2 sacks in the game. Mixon needs 107 yards to get 250K. He can get that.
Ooh, yeah, he could get that.
The Colts,
it's gonna be
Lewis,
tough,
1.5 sacks away from 100K. Kansas City, this ain't going to happen. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, 9 catches to get 250,000.
No, that's
140 yards to get another.
Not when he's going to be wearing a hoodie on the sideline.
Yeah. Like I said, there's no incentives. It's not like last year where everybody was trying to get Chris Brown.
His incentive is a ring.
If it was like 2 catches and 10 yards, then maybe.
Right. But they might put him in for that, but no. 9 catches, no.
8 catches for 125,000. Let's see, Chargers. 1 interception. Let's see. J.K. Dobbins needs 58 yards to bump his already 300K, so 150K basically. For J.K. Dobbins, he just needs 58 yards.
Well, that Harbaugh's going to try and get it for him. That's for sure.
Butch Dupree 1 sack away from 250,000.
Nope.
Let's see. Dolphins, Ogba, 1.5 for 500K. There you go.
Wow.
Calais Campbell, that old fart, he's still going. 1 sack away. Let's see. Vikings needs half a sack to get a $250,000.
Okay.
For the Jets, Conklin needs 1 catch to get 250K.
He'll get that. He'll get
One catch, and then half a sack for Kinlaw. You get 250. Geno Smith is 185 yards away from a $2 million bonus. He also just needs over 69.7 completion rate to hit another $2 million, and is a win shy of another 2. He can get $6 million.
Wow, Geno's going to be trying to.
So,
I wish I'd have known this before I made my pick. Damn, he could be playing his
haven't started
ass
yet.
off.
You got 5 minutes. You can still change it. Well, actually, you got a couple hours. So
ahead,
$6 million in this game he can win. So I don't know. That sounds like incentive to me.
Yep.
Mike Evans can make $3 million on top of his salary by recording 5 catches and 85 yards against the Panthers.
He'll get it.
Doing everything.
He'll get it easily.
Pollard needs 83 yards for 2,500,000, and another. If he gets 2 touchdowns, he'll get another 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
Half a sack for Kenneth Murray. Let's see, keys. Okay, let's try to do the big ones. Sack away. Dante Fowler, half a sack to make 375.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Ertz needs 9 catches for 250,000, 90 yards for another 250,000, and 2 receiving touchdowns for another 250,000.
You know, it's going to sound funny to you, but I could see that happening against Dallas.
Good.
Yeah.
Really good, man.
So,
But
some good
it's going to be
incentives we're going to watch.
The Zach Ertz, all the sack ones are going to be hard to do because sacks.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Even though you've got guys like Hendricks that are machines and all that stuff, for the rest of them, that is a rarity, especially those defensive tackles that have sack incentives.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
dude, it's hard to get them in the middle. So, yeah. But as far as the running back stuff, and Geno Smith has got a $6 million bonus
That's
coming
crazy.
if he wins today and throws for
I
a
didn't
bunch
look at
of
this
yards.
list beforehand either, so that's crazy.
Unbelievable. Okay, anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, ready to go.
Ready to go. It's time. It's playoff football, boys and girls. A lot of these games don't matter, but some of them do, and we don't want to miss them. Listen,
Multiple clubs could be reportedly trying to trade for Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell.
what?
It just popped up on my my app here.
He ain't going nowhere. Shit.
Trading. For
That's
a
crazy.
coach.
That's another.
Good.
That's another hype. I hate those hype posts.
Wow.
They're just ridiculous.
You
Okay.
Put this in the
Listen up,
chat?
boys and girls. Oh, before we get out of here, I want to thank my guys for being here every week. I know it's tough to get up on a Sunday morning. Hell, I'm late half the time I show up for this thing. But thanks for being here with me. I know you guys love football as much as I do. Guys, you don't know this, but we text each other during the games all the time, too. It's ridiculous. Especially, we were all pissed with Pickens last night, no doubt. We were all mad at that motherfucker. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for being here, and thank you to the chat for showing up every week and hanging out with us. He said, Killy Chow, who's probably been our biggest fan all year. Thank you. Great show, and you're welcome. Yes, thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate you. Let's see. Josh Wolfen. Yes, you want to share that before we get out of here, right?
Yep, that's my author link. You can get to my.
I will throw that up. Hang on
2
a
books.
second. I'm going to put it up on the big screen. This is his author link with Amazon. I've got my hardcover. I got it the other day. Man, that's a big book. It's about this tall.
Yeah, I know. I screwed up. I didn't
Big
put it in paperback.
No, I like it. I
Format.
like
put
it.
in-
Yeah, it's very
Plus, I
cool.
was thinking it'll look good next to like the gaming books. Like
You know
the
it, man.
D&D
It looks
manuals
like
and stuff.
it looks like a D&D manual, man. It's like it's a big book. But anyway, this link I'm fixing to put in the chat is going to let you go to there. You can get his book, The Tomb of Thunder, and Thunder's Odyssey, which is a novella that has to do with that same storyline. So you guys go check it out. And I have to ask you from now on, smile for your picture, man. Come on. You look like you're about to beat up anybody who doesn't buy the book. Come on, bro. Come on. Let's get a better picture in there. But you guys go support John and his book. I can't wait to read it. I haven't gotten to it, and I'm not going to get to it until after the season, but I've got it in my arsenal to read. So you guys go check it out. I'm going to put the link in the chat real quick. Let's see. This is John's books. Ah, I hate it when I start typing during the show. It slows everything down, but that's okay. I can do
I had
it.
some free time on Friday, so I was working on characters and stuff for book 2.
Yeah.
And I have come up with a character that I like and who's probably going to get a spinoff.
Oh, very cool. All right. Well, we're looking forward to it, buddy. But right
he's
now, we got to get out of here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we got 5 seconds.
You guys know you're watching NFL Pregame Party. Now, next week, because we're going to have Saturday games during the playoffs, the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing this same time, only on Saturday. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to do it on Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So tune back in next Saturday for our breakdown of the wild card games and what happened this week with the playoff picture.
And the CFP.
Also, go ahead, Knock. What?
And the results of the CFP.
That's what I was going to say. I was just about to say that. And the results of the college football playoff. We'll see who's going to be in the national championship game. Monday morning at 10 a.m., check out the Big Red One on Pop Culture Minefield's channel, Military Monday with Gary and Anima and Martin. I'll be there to check out this movie. It's the first movie that
Mark Hamill.
Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. Mark Hamill made after Star Wars. So come check that out. The Big Red One with Lee Marvin, who I love. And It's Only Talk and Roll comes your way at 4 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. And I believe he's doing a best of and worst of 2024. Same thing we're going to be doing on our show on Wednesday. We're doing it at 4 p.m. Central Time on Monday. And then at 5 p.m. Central Time on my channel, it's the Brothers Hack the Matrix. Usually, now my brother had a little medical scare this weekend, so he's taking the week off. So we're not going to be doing this one, but look for that usually at 5 p.m. Central Time on Monday. But don't forget that 70s Rock Fans channel at 4 p.m. Central Time on Monday. And then, of course, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time, it's Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. And we're going to play some Madden through the years. I don't know which years of Madden I'm going to play, but I'm going to play Madden on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Central Time. And then the much anticipated Mass Effect 2 will start the next week. So you guys tune in at 10 p.m. Central Time for some Madden through the years. And then, of course, on Wednesday, it's State of the Atmosphere. We're going to do the best of and worst. No, we did that one already. We're going to talk about what we're looking forward to in 2025. Video games, movies, television shows, all that good stuff. We're going to cover it all. Plus, we're going to put our thoughts out there about the second season of Squid Game. Knock, did you finish it yet? Knock's run away on me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what? I missed it.
Squid Game. Did you finish the?
I did. It was very disappointing.
I was fixing to say you told me not to spoil it, but it did just what he can't stand. They're splitting that season in half. Anyway, we're going to talk about it this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, Friday, it's Sketching the Privateer, where you get to watch me draw my comic book at 1 p.m. Central Time. And that brings us right back around to Saturday and NFL Pregame Party. So, for myself and Knock and Das Wolfen, I want to thank you guys for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.